Okay, so you're online, scrolling, maybe watching videos, and you get that little thought, right? Hey, could I actually be making some money doing this?
Uh-huh.
If that sounds like you, well, you've landed in the right spot. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are going like way beyond just scratching the surface of online income,
Yeah,
specifically for, you know, teens, college students, people in their early 20s.
exactly. Forget those clickbait articles, the vague stuff. We've actually uh, waded through the data, the real advice, to pull out what you really need to know.
Right.
So our mission today, it's really to break down how young people can genuinely earn online. We're focusing on things that, don't need a huge pile of cash up front.
Okay.
Looking at the whole spectrum, you've got your quick wins, but also like longer term strategies, building actual income
In
streams.
areas like creative stuff, tech,
Social
freelancing.
media, yeah, all
Right.
of that. And we're pulling from info that lays out, the real income potential, how easy is it really to start, the pros, the cons.
And not just listing them, but really digging in. What's the deal? How much effort? What's the inside scoop? Now, okay, before we jump into the nitty-gritty, one really key thing up front.
Hmm.
If any legit online earning site asks you for money just to join,
Hmm.
that's a huge red flag,
It's
right?
massive. Just steer clear.
Yeah.
What you will need is your time, definitely your effort, and, a bit of smart thinking.
Okay, makes sense. So let's dive into those quick cash gigs first. What's the actual story there? Are they worth the time?
Well, think of these as kind of your entry point, like online odd jobs almost. It's about using those small bits of time you have
Right.
for some immediate cash. Though, yeah, usually modest cash.
Okay, so online surveys, we've all seen those ads, right?
Hmm.
Easy money, click here, fact or fiction.
Ha! It's a bit of both, I'd say. Look, you're not going to get rich, definitely
Yeah.
not. But the barrier to entry, it's practically zero.
Okay,
You answer questions, share opinions, you get a little bit per survey, usually just a few dollars, maybe less sometimes.
right.
But for a motivated student, someone who uses their spare moments, you could realistically maybe pull in $50 to $100 a month.
Really? $50 to $100.
Yeah, on places like Survey Junkie or Swagbucks. If you're consistent, it's low effort, low income ceiling, but hey, it's some extra spending money.
Pizza money, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, what else fits in this quick cash bucket?
All right, next up, you've got microtask platforms. Think Amazon's Mechanical Turk people call it MTurk or Clickworker.
Ah, okay, I've heard of M-Turk.
Yeah. So here you're doing small, often repetitive tasks like categorizing data, tagging images, maybe super basic data entry.
Yeah,
The paper task is tiny, but once you kind of get the hang of it, figure out the system, you might see hourly earnings maybe in the $6 to $12 range.
so more involved in surveys.
Definitely more consistent effort needed than
Yeah.
service. Yeah. So we'd call that like medium effort, but still a pretty low to medium income potential overall.
Gotcha. Now, I've heard people talk about like getting paid to test websites or apps. Is that a real quick cash thing?
It absolutely is. Paid usability testing. It costs nothing to start, and the effort for each test is pretty low.
How does that work?
Well, companies, they need real people to tell them if their websites or apps are confusing or buggy, right?
Makes sense.
So they pay for that feedback. Usually you'll record your screen, maybe your voice, while you use the site or app just talking through your thoughts.
Okay.
Each test might pay around $10. Platforms like user testing are big ones that connect testers with these jobs. Again, low to medium potential, depends how many tests you qualify for.
Interesting. Getting paid to browse, basically.
Mhm.
What about selling your own stuff online, like old clothes or games? That feels like classic.
It totally is, just digitized now.
Yeah.
Platforms like eBay or Depop for clothes especially are super accessible.
Right.
The startup cost is basically just the seller fees they take when something sells. Effort-wise, it's medium. You got to take decent photos, write descriptions, talk to buyers, ship it.
Yeah, that takes time.
It does. And the income per sale, it can be all over the place depending on what you're selling. So for most casual sellers, it falls into that low to medium income range.
Okay, so pulling back, these quick cash things, they're good for getting your feet wet, maybe funding some small stuff,
Exactly.
but not like a career path.
Yeah,
And the big warning, never pay to join these things.
absolutely critical.
And also, check those age limits, right? Especially if you're under 18. Getting paid might be tricky sometimes.
Precisely. Always check the terms. Now, shall we pivot? Let's talk about where you can really start using your skills for potentially more money, more sustainable income.
Okay, yeah. Freelance and creative services. This sounds more serious.
It can be. This is where you move beyond just clicking buttons or selling old stuff, and you start selling your actual abilities online.
So if someone's thinking, okay, I have a skill, maybe writing or design,
Yeah.
where do they even start looking for freelance work online?
Good question. The main starting points are often these big freelance marketplaces. You've probably heard of Fiverr, Upwork.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're free to sign up for. They connect freelancers like you with clients all over the world. Fiverr is interesting. It works on a gig model.
Gigas.
Yeah, you package up a specific service like I'll design a logo for X dollars or I'll write a 500-word blog post for Y dollars. Set prices.
Okay.
Fiverr takes a cut, usually 20%, so you keep 80% of what you earn per sale.
And Upwork, is that different?
Upwork is often more about bidding on projects clients post.
Yeah.
They have some interesting data, too. Like, they say freelance content writers often charge between $15 and $40 an hour.
15 to 40. That's a decent range.
It is. And there are others, too, like freelancer.com. The key thing is just the sheer variety of skills people are looking for.
Okay, so writing's one. What other specific skills are like really in demand for young freelancers right now?
Well, graphic design, web design, always huge. You might need some software, which could be a cost, but the effort is generally medium and rates could be, say, $10 to $30 an hour maybe, depending on skill. Video editing is another really hot one. That can be pretty demanding per project, so maybe high effort sometimes, but the pay reflects that. Often in that $15 to $30 per hour range, too. Yeah. It's fascinating how niche it gets within video, too.
And what about the tech side? Lots of young people are learning coding these days.
Oh, absolutely. Programming, web development, super valuable skills in the freelance world. Now, this takes serious effort, right?
Yeah.
Learning, keeping up to date.
Yeah, it's constant.
But the income potential shows it. You could be looking at $20 to $60 an hour, sometimes way more, depending on what you specialize in.
Wow.
Think front-end, back-end development, specific languages. Then you have other stuff, too, like transcription.
Turning audio into text.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Platforms like Rev.com connect people for that. Medium effort, maybe $10 to $20 an hour, roughly.
Okay.
Virtual assistant work, helping people remotely with admin or tech tasks. That's also in that medium effort, $10 to $20 range. And online tutoring.
Helping other students.
Yeah. In subjects you're good at. That takes high effort prep, teaching, but could pay around $15 to $30 an hour.
That's a really wide range of possibilities. Okay, so if someone's listening, they're excited, they think, I can do that. What are the absolute first steps, like practically speaking?
Okay, practical steps. 1, create really good profiles on the platforms you choose. Make them look professional. This is your online shop window.
Right.
2, you have to show what you can do. Examples. If you write, have writing samples ready. If you design, build a portfolio, even a simple free one. Coder. Link your GitHub projects. Proof.
Makes sense. Got to show, not just tell.
Exactly. And 3, don't just wait for people to find you. You need to actively pitch yourself to clients for projects that fit your skills or create those Fiverr-style gigs that really stand out and explain what you offer. That initial hustle is key.
Okay, and let's set expectations here. What's the earning curve like for a newbie freelancer? Are they making $40 an hour right away?
Probably not right away, no. Like we said, experienced freelancers, people with great reviews, they can command those $15, $40 plus rates.
Yeah.
But when you're just starting,
Yeah.
be prepared to maybe start a bit lower. You need to build that portfolio, get those first positive reviews, show you're reliable. It's about gaining momentum first.
Right, building trust and proof. Okay, so investing time up front. What are the main, pros and cons of going the freelance route as a young person?
Okay, pros. Flexibility is huge. Setting your own hours, massive plus. The potential for high earnings as you get better is definitely there. And the variety working on different projects can be really cool.
And the cons?
Well, it's competitive, really competitive sometimes. You have to be okay with marketing yourself, finding work. It's not just doing the skill.
Right, you're running a mini business.
Pretty much. And age limits again. Upwork usually needs 18 plus FIs. Fiverr allows younger teens, but often with parent involvement. Check the rules. And finally, income can be unpredictable. Feast or famine sometimes, especially at the start.
Okay, that's some super practical stuff to think about. Let's switch gears again. Digital products and passive income. This sounds almost too good to be true. Create something once, earn forever.
Well, the idea is definitely appealing. Create an asset. It makes money over time. Digital products offer a way to do that. Print on demand, POD, is a great example.
Print on demand, like T-shirts and stuff.
Exactly. T-shirts, mugs, phone cases, posters. You create a design, just the artwork. You upload it to a platform like Redbubble or Teespring. They're free to join.
Okay.
And they handle everything else, the printing, the shipping, customer service, whenever someone buys an item with your design.
So you don't need boxes of inventory in your room.
None. That's the
Yeah.
beauty. You just earn a royalty on each sale, usually somewhere between, say, 10% and 30% of the price.
And can you actually make decent money with that?
It can be slow to start, for sure. You need a good number of designs usually. But yeah, the potential to earn, maybe hundreds a month grows as your design portfolio gets bigger and better known.
Yeah.
You're basically leveraging creativity without physical product hassle.
Okay, no inventory headache is a big plus.
Yeah.
How do you actually get started with POD? Do you need fancy design software?
Not necessarily. You can totally use free tools like Canva, which is super popular and easy, or GIMP if you want something more powerful but still free.
Right.
Or yeah, if you already have design skills and software, use that. Create your designs, upload them to the POD site, choose what products you want them on, and then, importantly, promote them. Social media, using good keywords in your listing so people find them.
Got it. And what's the realistic money look like per item?
Generally modest per sale. Like on a $20 shirt, your royalty might be, I don't know, $2 to $6, somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay.
But the key is scalability. More designs, more products, better marketing. It all adds up. People who are really good at it, good designs, good marketing, they can definitely make dozens, even hundreds monthly. It's a numbers game, partly.
Sounds like a cool potential side hustle.
Yeah.
You also mentioned digital downloads. What falls under that?
Yeah.
It's not physical stuff, right?
Right. Non-physical things you create once, sell over and over. Think like printable planners,
Yeah.
worksheets, maybe website templates, cool fonts you design, stock photos you take.
Ebook.
Ebooks, absolutely. Maybe even short online courses. You can sell these on places like Etsy or Gumroad, or set up your own simple website. You might have a small cost there, maybe $10 a month for basic web hosting if you go that route. The trick is creating something people actually find valuable and want to buy.
Okay. So what are the big upsides and downsides for digital products generally?
Well, the pros are pretty compelling. Minimal work after you create it, that's the passive income dream, right?
Yeah.
You can sell globally, instantly, no inventory, no shipping, big advantages.
Well, the downsides.
It's often very competitive, lots of people selling digital stuff. Success really depends on making consistently good, attractive content that stands out, and the income can be super unpredictable, especially at first. It often takes time and real marketing effort to get noticed and make significant sales.
Okay, so definitely not guaranteed overnight riches.
Uh.
But maybe worth exploring if you have a good idea and persistence.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk social media, content creation. So many young people are already on these platforms constantly. Can you actually turn those likes and views into, actual money?
You absolutely can. But, and this is a big but, you got to approach it realistically. Long-term thinking.
Okay.
Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, they all have ways to monetize. YouTube's the classic example. You need to hit certain benchmarks, right? Currently, it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year.
Right. The partner program requirements.
Exactly. Then you can apply, potentially run ads on your videos. But, important detail, Google AdSense handles the payments, and you generally need to be 18 to have an AdSense account.
So if you're younger.
A parent or guardian usually needs to set up and manage the AdSense account linked to the channel.
Gotcha. And what about TikTok and Instagram? They feel even more popular with younger crowds sometimes.
Yeah, TikTok and Insta usually have a 13-plus age limit. But again, parental consent might be needed if you're under 18, depending on where you live and the platform rules. Earning there is often different.
How so?
Less about built-in ads like YouTube, more about sponsored posts. Brands paying you to feature their stuff.
Influencer marketing.
Basically, yeah. Or affiliate marketing, putting special links in your bio or posts and getting a cut if people buy through your link. And on TikTok, people can send virtual gifts during live streams, which convert to money. It's interesting how fast the ways to earn change on these platforms, too.
Okay, so if someone's thinking, maybe I could be a creator, where do they even start? Seems overwhelming.
It can feel that way. First step, honestly. Pick a niche, something you actually like and can talk about or show off regularly. Gaming, fashion, comedy, tutorials, local exploration, whatever.
Something you won't get bored of.
Exactly. You probably already have the gear you need to start your smartphone, maybe a basic webcam. Then, consistency is king. You gotta post regularly, make decent quality stuff.
Build an audience.
Right. As you grow, then you start looking into the platform's partner programs, or maybe reaching out to brands, or signing up for affiliate programs relevant to your niche.
Okay. And the big question, money. Is it just the huge stars making bank? Or can smaller creators earn too?
That's a really common thought, but it's not quite accurate. Yes, the top creators make huge amounts, but you don't need millions of followers to start earning.
Really?
Yeah, a smaller YouTube channel, once monetized, might make a few bucks per thousand views. It adds up. Sponsored posts, payments vary wildly. Could be $50, could be $500, could be way more.
Yeah.
Depends on your followers, how engaged they are, the brand's budget. It's really about building that loyal community.
Okay, so high potential, maybe, but a serious time commitment and lots of competition. Let's quickly recap pros and cons for social media creation.
Sure. Pros: high earning potential, lots of creative freedom, very low startup costs usually. Cons: extremely competitive, growth can be very slow, you need to be super careful about privacy, copyright, advertising rules.
And the age thing again for monetization.
And the age thing, needing parental help often if you're a minor wanting to actually get paid.
Wow. Okay. We've covered a ton of ground. This has been super insightful. Before we finish up, let's nail down that crucial point again, especially for younger listeners. Age and legal stuff.
Yes, absolutely vital. We've touched on it, but let's be explicit. Most platforms, they have minimum ages. Like we said, Fiverr, 18 or 13, 17 with a parent managing the account. Upwork, freelancer,
Yeah.
generally 18 plus survey sites, often 13 plus thereof. But getting paid via PayPal might need you to be 18.
This is the rule is.
Always, always, always check the specific platform's terms of service and privacy policy. Read the fine print. And for any young person earning money online, seriously, talk to your parents or guardians. Get their help managing the money, understanding taxes maybe down the line, setting up a bank account properly.
Really, really important advice. Okay, so as we wrap this deep dive up, final strategic thought. If a young person is listening now, feeling inspired, what's your top recommendation? Focus on one thing. Try everything.
Good question. I think for most people, starting out, a diversified approach is probably best. It's also more educational.
How so?
Well, maybe try a couple of different things that sound interesting. See what clicks with your skills, what you actually enjoy, how much time you really have. Start with some of those lower barrier things, surveys, micro tasks, maybe just to get a feel for it. Maybe earn your first few dollars online.
Got some confidence.
Exactly. Then, as you figure out what you're good at, what you like, maybe focus more on developing those skills for the higher paying stuff. Freelancing in that area or creating digital products around it.
So it's a journey.
Totally. Building a real online income, especially through freelancing or content creation. It's usually a marathon, definitely not a sprint. Patience, sticking with it, and always being willing to learn new things. That's key.
That's fantastic advice. This has been such a valuable deep dive, really covering the whole spectrum, quick cash to, building something more substantial with skills and creativity.
Yeah.
And I think the big takeaway is clear. Legit opportunities won't ask for fees up front, but they will demand your time and your effort.
Couldn't have said it better. And now, with all these possibilities laid out, maybe the question for you, the listener, is, what's the first step you'll think about taking?
Right.
Consider your skills, your interests, what actually gets you excited. Maybe pick just one or two things from today that you want to look into more. Just remember, this online earning world, it's about consistent effort, learning as you go, and adapting.